What is going on, guys? zHaiky here and welcome to Final Fantasy XVI. Kaya na, habi na pagkabukas na ito, diretso na tayo sa main story.
How's Jill?
Recovering, but she still needs her rest.
Of course. Take good care of her, won't you?
I'll do my best. Oh, Gav was looking for you. He said he had something to show you in the shelves.
The shelves. Oh, that's right. He went to ask Hippocrates about Torgor. He must have found something.
Ayan na pala eh. Sasabi natin itong Rodrigue.
You have the look of a man with the twins upon his shoulders, Rodrigue.
Talia has tasked me with removing a Cursebreaker's brand. But it's my first time and I don't think I can do it. I'm afraid of what happens if I fail. You survived, I know, but near as many die as recover. Is it really worth the risk?
You don't need me to answer that. You know full well what we're fighting for. I hope as much as you that one day bearers can walk among others as equals. But until that day, a brand is a burden, and we must lift that burden in order to go undetected. The operation may be dangerous, but it's also essential, and we undergo it willingly.
I know. I still wish there was some other way. But griping about my lot helps no one, I suppose. Don't worry. I'll do what must be done.
I know you will.
Unfortunately, the first thing that needs doing is the preparation of a draft to dull the pain. Something I can't do with the infirmary's ammonia supply so low. What few leaves we have would barely be enough for removing a splinter, let alone a brand.
Tara.
Just tell me what
Why
you
not?
need.
You'll go? Oh, thank you. No one knows Herblord like Taya, and she swears by ammonia for easing pain. It's simple enough to find, if you know where to look. And fortunately for you, I do. Along the river near the village of
Rosario
Amber
ulit?
over in Rosaria. Just search for the bright blue blossoms.
So, babalik na naman tayo sa Rosaria. Rosaria talaga pinaka ano, no? Tingnan natin si... Yan, nakupula
I'm
pala.
feeling a lot better, thanks to Taya's remedies.
Yun na, huwag ka na magsalita. Nasa si Gab nandun sa shelves. Tara, punta natin si Gab. Hindi ko anytime soon enough makaka-journey ulit tayo. Ngayon, parang inano niya ata si Torgul, no?
Clive, where have you been? I've been wanting to ask you something about Torgul. Where did you get him, like, in the first place?
My father brought him back from one of his expeditions into the Northern Territories. They were crossing a snowfield when they heard his cries, and seeing no sign of his pack, they took him in.
What do you reckon, Tomes?
It certainly adds weight to the theory. Clive, I believe that Torgul may be no mere hound, but a rare frostwolf, an animal native to the far northern reaches of Valisthea. In one of our oldest bestiaries, I found reference to a frostwolf who served as guardian to an ancient queen of the north. Such was his mastery over ether, he could cast magics on command. His name was Fenrir.
Fenrir the Frostwolf.
Now, the annals do not state it explicitly, but I have reason to believe this queen was a dominant of Shiva, a girl from the Northern Territories and her faithful hound. One awakens as the dominant of Shiva, and the other
You're saying that Jill granted Torgal his powers,
What?
just like Fenrir. People called him my hound, but Torgal and Jill were inseparable. He grew up as a faithful companion to the dominant of Shiva, and years later, his powers awakened, just when his master needed him the most.
You're right. If it weren't for Torgal blasting those bastards to Kingdom Come, Jill would have been for it.
Quite. Though Torgal's power is his own, his latent birthright as a Frostwolf. It had only to be unlocked.
Oh, get you, Torgal.
You're an even finer hound than we thought.
Hindi rin talaga siya
regarding your
smart
original
dog lang, no?
concern, you need not fear for Torgal's health. Why, the beast has the appetite of a behemoth. Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
Jill?
There you are!
Mid pala.
I've been looking everywhere for you. Bernard's here. I need you to introduce us so we can get to work.
I shall be a moment.
Parang ano lang, no? Parang hound ni Shiva talaga. May ano si Shiva, may guardian. So, lumaki na naman yung mapa natin ata. Meron ng babaan. Ano naman kaya to?
Isn't it brilliant?
It is.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. You and everyone else. But I promise I'll pay you back. I'm gonna work my fingers to the bone for you lot. Starting right now. Just you wait. I'll make wonders like this world's never seen.
Then I look forward to seeing them.
Anong lugar naman to?
Now that that's settled, I wonder if Vivian's made any progress tracking down Kupka.
Kasama si Mid nga.
Thanks for letting me do this, Clive. I'll pay you back, I promise.
Ano kaya to?
We have everything we need to begin work in earnest.
Mm.
And work in
Si Bernard
earnest
nga.
we shall.
Thanks for before, son. That was a good deed you did me. Only right I do you.
So tara, kasama si Vivian. Or should we gawin muna natin yung side quest natin, and then let's go to the main mission dahil puro lang naman tayo, pero feeling ko baka may kalaban tayo. Ambrosia,
Come on.
fly Ambrosia.
The river was easy enough to find. Now for those herbs.
Ikot tayo dito. Nakita pa rin tayo. Saan ba? Ito lang pala. Hindi natin
Straight home
magagamit
now.
to dahil wala umabot. Aray ko, kinasin.
To me, Blight!
Ayan, magsama kayo tatlo. Uy, what? Sino mga ba? Ay, ito naman eh. Anuin talaga yung mga bee. Huli ka. Ay, hindi na finisher.
Titan!
Yun. Damay lahat. Mali, nagamit natin yung string tonic.
This is the only plant around here
Dapat
with blue
ikukumad ko lang
flowers.
si
That
Torgal.
is the right one. Should be enough to
Yun.
keep the infirmary stocked for a while.
Hindi ko malalang meron
Hopefully
dito.
this'll put Rodriguez mind
Tringa
at
lang
ease.
natin dumaan dito. Mali. Okay. Ito yung may naghahanap sa amin. Tapos ayaw tayong kausapin dahil nga ayaw nilang madamay. Papabil
Welcome,
tuloy tayo ng
stranger.
strength tonic. Strength tonic. Attack power pala.
Much obliged. I suppose we won't be seeing you again.
So wala namang ano dito side quest kaya tara. Balik ulit tayo sa hideaway and then kausapin natin si Vivian. Siguro naman may mga sagot na si Vivian para kay Kupka and dun sa Odin. Ano mo itong pangalan ng
It's just one thing
dominant
after
na yun?
another around here. The little ones have been up to their old tricks again.
Wait, what? Tanga pala. Here you go, Rodriguez.
I hope you didn't have too much trouble finding the ammonia.
And sa'yo na.
Only the usual.
Oh, yes. This is it. And more than I was expecting. I dare say the patient won't feel a thing. That is, unless I...
You'll do fine. Taya trusts you. Which means I trust you. The hideaway would be lost without skilled physicers like yourself.
Thank you for the kind words. Truly. But... I'm sorry. I'm still terrified. The brand is more than just ink on flesh. It's a death sentence. Milk of the wyvern tail lurking just below the surface of the skin. One ill-conceived incision, a single slip, and the poison fouls the patient's blood. Failure means death, and even success means tremendous pain. Days of agony as the wound
Hindi mo ako
heals.
inaantok.
I became a physiker to help people, not to kill them. I don't want to kill anyone.
Curse breakers lead hard lives,
Yung chips away.
and the operation is only the beginning. They toil in the shadows, risking life and limb, knowing their efforts will win them neither glory nor acclaim. And yet we never won for volunteers. Why do you think that is?
Conviction? They're willing to die?
They're willing to fight. To give their lives to create a world where people like us can be more than mere possessions. I know your work isn't easy, but neither is going under the knife. Be a shoulder for your patients to lean on. Stay strong for them.
You sound like Taya. Do you know what she once told me? It's
Kaya mo
natural
ng
for
drama.
a patient to feel like they're suffering in solitude. And it's a physiker's duty to see that they don't. Thank you for helping me remember that. I won't falter. Not again.
Dapat lang. Kung wala kang tupin sa sarili mo, alis ka na dito. Kaya lapit na mag 360 ano natin. Renown. Renown. Nalito pa rin ako. Si Vivian.
How goes the hunt for Kupka?
Largely in circles.
Yun.
We have myriad sightings of strange soldiers in unexpected places, but nothing definitive as yet. If only we knew for certain by what route he left Rosalith.
Well, keep at it. If anyone can piece this puzzle together, it's you. And I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.
Para pag umabot na 1 taon. Ano na?
What? Here?
Would that be a problem?
Do you know, Clive? I believe it a mercy that you didn't inherit your father's throne. Your poor people would surely live in fear of you.
You have nothing to worry about on that front. I won't be claiming his crown.
That is a relief.
Clive, have you got a minute? We, have a guest.
A guest?
Guess what? Who's the guest?
For your trouble.
Byron.
It was a pleasure, in hindsight.
Uncle Byron? Clive, my boy! Tap a cask and stoke the ovens for your favorite uncle is here!
Nandito. So, lumabas siya ng mansion niya. Baka si Uncle Byron may alam. Meanwhile, yan na.
The Dalmekian government sues for peace. How shall we respond?
If they're willing to accept their fault in the matter, I see no reason to refuse them.
Still, we must insist on substantial reparations. Twinside stores are not as bottomless as reported.
Aye, and we have many more mouths to feed. We shall just have to have the Dalmecs empty their treasuries for us.
Of course, none of this would have been possible without your timely intervention, Prince Olivier.
Indeed, I doubt any of us would have had the courage to trade words with the mighty Titan, nor less the wit to win him over.
The Empire owes you a great debt.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you, Your Highness.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Very good.
Ito yung kumuha kay Kupke, no? Feeling ko.
Now, let us come to the question of precisely when the Dalmecs will withdraw their troops.
Dion's fire could rid us of them in mere moments. The men of the Fist will not withdraw until a peace treaty is concluded. So let us keep the negotiations open, give them time to gather what gold and trinkets they can, and once they deliver that which we demand, what worth is a piece of parchment?
Your Radiance, were Prince Dion to take the field, the enemy would surely send their own dominant to meet him. And while His Highness would of course prevail, there would be heavy losses on both.
You need not fear Hugo Kupka. He is engaged on the Western Front. Even were the Dalmecs to send for him, he would not arrive in time. As much as I would enjoy witnessing a clash between Bahamut and Titan, it is not to be.
And what of your subjects, Your Radiance? If the fighting spread to the city proper, the people would bear the brunt of it.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on. Dion?
Yes, sire.
Ano meron yung sa bulaklak? Sarap talaga tong chips away. Commercial break.
Prepare for battle.
But sire...
Do not make me repeat myself. Return to your camp and await my orders.
Di ba anak niya, Bim?
If that is your wish, your radiance, I shall depart at once. May Gregor forgive you.
Ano may Gregor forgive you?
What do the astrologers augur?
The stars are in agreement, Your Radiance. The shadow of treachery hangs over Prince Dion.
So Annabella's tales were true. You disappoint me, Dion.
Feeling ko nilalaro lang ni Annabelle eh. Or gusto niya siguro yung anak niya maging dominant.
What on earth is Uncle Byron doing here? Only one way to find out.
Ay, umakit ah, Uncle Byron. Up upstairs.
It's just one thing after another around here.
Ang nakaka dito is gumagalaw na yung ano bang Empire of some brick. Sand brick pala. Ang talagang umakit ah. Gusto mo kailangan nasa
my
lubong ka.
dear nephew, how I've missed you.
Lumulog controller.
How did you find this place, Uncle?
Through the good offices of young Sir Wade. He really is the most helpful fellow. As are you, I hear. The Guardians and those they freed tell the most outlandish tales of your heroics in Rosalith. Which is why I came, to learn the full truth of the matter. Sort the fact from the fiction, so to speak.
You were working with the Guardians of the Flame to evacuate the people of Rosalith to Port Isolde.
I was, aye.
Then I have questions for you. Please, come inside, Uncle.
Gladly. You there? There are 2,000 gold talents in those chests. See that they're added to my nephew's coffers, would you?
Wow.
2,000?
Kung hindi lang nabulag sa niya mata, dalawang matang guro lumaki.
And I'm afraid that is all I know.
A fleet sailing south past Port Isolde. Most intriguing.
Forgive me for not being able to tell you more. I hadn't the faintest idea Kopko withdrew wounded from Rosalith. Still less that my own nephew dealt the decisive blow.
What do you think, Vivian?
I think, with this news of the Dhalmekian fleet and recent reports of the Royalists' movements, that the final piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. Come here and I'll show you.
Master of strategy si Vivian.
It is known that Kupka's forces entered Rosaria via its unguarded coast. So can the same be said of your visitors from Waloed? Certainly her royal navy is famed for the efficiency with which it bears her knights from one battlefield to the next. And in the Einherjar, or Black Galleon, she boasts a vessel nigh as swift and every bit as feared as the kingdom's legendary cavalry. A fitting flagship for a land apart, her naval presence being crucial to her ambitions beyond Ash. Yes, it seems safe to assume that the Royalists did indeed enter Rosaria from the sea. So then, had you a vested interest in Titan's survival, whither would you take him? Why, home to Drake's Fang, a place rich enough in ether to conjure the magics needed to mend his hurts. But would that not entail an arduous voyage around the southern cape? Let us say that the Royalists did put ashore with a mind to spirit Kupka away from under your very nose. Could that truly have been their plan for him? To load him aboard one of the ships flying Republican colors sighted off the coast near Port Isolde. To spend weeks at sea, being tossed hither and yon by unforgiving waves, his life hanging in the balance. No. The journey would mean Titan's death, and Kupka's faithful creatures would not allow it. So what then was the plan of our Waluda friends? Reports suggest they made not for the coast, but for the desert. And by cutting through the Velcroy, a party traveling light would have Titan back in his bed days before a galley could lurch into port. To wit, it was the Royalists, not the Republicans, who effected Hugo Kupka's safe retreat. I would stake your life on it.
Siguro nire-recover nila si Hugo. May gagawin kay
So it was the Waludas who spirited the wretch away. Now I think about it, there was something a little strange about the ships I saw. The men seemed almost crestfallen, as if in mourning, as if they believed, or were made to believe, that their master was dead.
You have a keen mind, Lord Rosfield. And you have your answer. To find Kupka, you have merely to follow the Royalist trail across the Velcroy. It may well have gone cold by now, but as they say in the Republic, all roads lead to Drake's Fang.
Allow me to accompany you part of the way. As luck would have it, I had intended to journey Canberward on business after visiting you here. The Fang would be but a short detour.
I'd be glad of the company. Give me a moment to make ready. I need to tell my friends what we've learned and where we're going.
Very well, but be quick about it, my boy. Time waits for no man.
Mamadali si Uncle. So tara, sabihin natin kila Otto.
It's finished outfitting her little...
Otto, Kupka's at Drake's Fang. I'll be leaving before sunset.
You're not going in there alone, are you?
Don't worry. I'm not going there to destroy the Mother Crystal. All I'm after is Kupka's head. I won't risk any more than I have to. I promise.
The Lancer and the Fang are all Kupka's personal fiefdom. You have any trouble on the way, you ask for Rosina Dalamil. Some call her the Desert Hare.
Who is
Desert
she?
Hare.
An old associate of Sid's, and only Sid's. All I know is the name, and that they used to meet at the Dalamil Inn. We've heard nothing from her since he died. But I'm thinking maybe the new Sid might be able to bring her back into the fold.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Kausapin natin yung babae.
So, what about your uncle? I mean, he's welcome to stay, but...
Don't look so worried. He'll be coming with me.
Thank fuck for that.
Gav, Otto, I'm leaving you two in charge.
You can count on us.
Paano si Jill? Pahinga muna. So I guess tayo muna attack si Torgol. Check ko lang ulit yung location. Sam Rosalit yun. Sang anong to? Rosaria. Fox Cry Cliff. Okay. Saan natin si Uncle Byron?
All right, Uncle. I'm ready to depart. Shall we?
We shall. Come, let us away to adventure.
Let's do this. Let's get to the next adventure. Me and Torgo. Ayun.